I am very serious about film business, guys, but I am a very unserious person. So what we are going to do is we're just going to have a relaxing session. If you have any questions, if you feel you want to interrupt, raise your hands. If I say something that doesn't make sense, just ask me. But this is a space where we can just chat. Yeah? Let me find out who's in the room. So who here is a director? Yeah? Producer? Writer? Guys, you guys aren't serious. Come on. You're filmmakers. You should be everything. You should be all raising your hands for everything. Writer, me. Director, me. Producer, me. Content creator, me. Advertiser, me. Works at the hotel on the weekend, me. That's what we are like when we're filmmakers. So I am here to talk about the film industry. Now, I'm not here to talk about it from I want to sell you this sexy vision of what film should be. I just want to talk to you guys about the reality of the industry that I'm in, and one that I'm trying to build, and one that I hope to see in the future. I have a script, but like I said, I'm unserious, so I'm probably going to abandon it often. But again, I will also be asking some questions, and I think there are some mics floating around somewhere. There are some mics floating around somewhere. So if you have any questions, again, request a mic and then we'll chat. Yeah? Okay, so I'm going to ask you one question. Who here has paid to watch a film in the last 6 months? And I'm not talking about a screener. I'm not talking about festival. I'm just talking about paying to watch a film. Okay. I mean, I'm not here to shame you. Thank you so much for being honest. This isn't shame, this is data. What we are literally looking at here is people that have come to a film festival, film market, and this is what's usually the case, and the reality of the situation is that the people that are most heavily committed to building a film industry are also sometimes the poorest when it comes to consuming it. We expect to build a consumer market, and yet we too are not consumers. Now, the really terrible thing here is not that you haven't paid to watch a film. That's not bad. That's just what it is. The terrible thing is, honestly, until you guys raised your hands, I didn't know what the result was going to be. I genuinely didn't. I don't think there's sufficient data for me to be able to do that. Do you guys know how many people watch films or pay for films in Kenya? Anybody?
Excuse me, does it count? I watch films every day, but does it count that I pay Netflix? Because you said I watch movies every single day.
I will count it, because right now I need to count everything.
Yeah.
So I will count it. I will count Netflix. Thank you for your service. I will definitely count Netflix. Okay, so what I've learned, I'm going to tell you what I've learned from my experience as somebody who is genuinely trying to build an industry here in Nairobi. The first thing I've learned is that talent is not the problem. Who here is talented? Oh God, me too. I'm so talented, I'm even going to lift up a foot. So this is everybody who's talented, yes? So obviously we don't have a talent problem here. The problem is conversion. How do you turn your talent into actual money? And we are not consistently converting this talent into projects. So every single time, the talent turns into a project, which turns into an audience, which turns into revenue. And every single time this happens, the value is actually becoming less rather than more. Sometimes people think that, oh, I've made the product, therefore it's now worth more. Actually, technically, it's worth less. It should be worth more at audience stage, but that's not what's happening. Now, currently, I have a film fund that I have closed recently. Last night, when I was supposed to be sleeping, even though I went to bed quite late, I ended up going through the applications that had come through me. I had 280 applicants for my film fund. And of those 280 applicants, I had to literally slice it in half because half of them had not even passed the eligibility criteria. They just punted, which also made me kind of hesitant of them as creatives because you're not serious. If you're not going to be paying attention to what you are applying for, then why should I pay attention to you as a filmmaker? So I slashed half of them. Then the rest of them, they were not investable propositions. So there is a difference, and it does matter, by the way. Can I invest in this? Some of them, they looked, oh my God, like the standard of it was really, really quite shocking. This is money, right? If you are trying to get money invested in what you are trying to do, is there not a standard of a quality and a seriousness that you need to be approaching these projects with? That was a really big problem. An audience. I literally had this one project that I was looking at for like 45 minutes, and I had no idea who would watch this. Like, it was so crazy. I had no idea who would watch this, and it made me wonder, do you guys ever think about who's going to watch your project when you are done? Who's going to watch your project? Give me an example. Yeah.
People interested in psychology and thriller.
Sorry?
People interested in psychology, thriller, and system building.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your name?
Martin.
Martin? Who are these people? Where are they? These people interested in psychology. Where do I find them? How do I get my project to them?
Honestly, I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't
What
know?
I know is, for example, if you've seen the crime crime series or things that document the minds of, let's say, for example, serial killers, I wouldn't know where to get that audience, so that's where we need the data, perhaps.
Okay. I'm going to say something that I say to people a lot, and people hate me for it. I don't think your film should be made. She's horrible. The reason I say that is that if your project is made right now, it doesn't have a route to the market. If we are making projects that don't have a route to the market, you're just going to have a project, but you're not going to have any revenue. You're not going to have a career that you can sustain. You're basically just going to have something that is made, and then that's it. Has an audience ever come to you and said, please make this film for me?
I'm just starting out, so I wouldn't know.
I always say this though, like for instance, if we do not know where it's going to end up, if we don't know who's going to consume it, if we don't know how much money it's going to make, if we don't know where it's going to go, then it actually has no point. And the thing is, you guys don't actually have an audience problem. People are watching. All of you watch films, yes? Who here has watched a film in the last 6 months? We just haven't paid for it. And this is literally the definition of your targeted audience at this precise moment in time. Everybody is watching film. Everybody. And people are paying for things. They're paying for nightlife, they're paying for concerts, they're paying for vibes, they're paying for good times, but they're not paying for film. The important thing is, how do we turn every single one of you guys into a profitable filmmaker? Somebody who not only makes money for their investors, which you should be, but somebody who also makes money to keep themselves in this industry, to support themselves, to pay their bills. Because it is not an industry if nobody is actually making money that can allow them to keep doing it. I'm going to give you an example. People say this to me all the time. Yeah, but Saru, we're in Kenya, you don't know. The thing is, at the end of the day, let's take Colombia. Do you guys know the South American country, Central American country called Colombia? Thank you, darling. In Colombia, in the 2000s, I would even say they were worse off than Kenya is today. They had no cinemas. They had no industry. I think over the last 10 years in the 2000s, they had only made 5 films. But what changed? There was a law, a film law that was put in place. Then once that film law was put in place, people were able to regulate what the film was. They introduced incentives. They even introduced a levy. So every single time somebody buys a ticket at the cinema, a portion of that fund is taken and put to the side to fund future films. They also had different ways of rewarding films that were being programmed locally. So if you were programming local films, you were being rewarded. It worked. Eventually, they were making 50 plus films. It was beautiful. But the thing is, that was Colombia. In Kenya, if I was to say, every single one of you, if you were to go to the cinema and pay for a ticket, I will take 20% of that money of whoever pays tickets in any cinema ever, like you've got over 30 cinemas in Kenya, every single one of those tickets, we will take that money and we will put it in a fund. Do you guys believe we would have a lot of money? Like enough to make a difference, to fund an entire industry. Hi, speak to me. Can we get a mic?
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Martin.
Hi.
Yes, I don't think we would get that enough money.
Why do you think this?
People would see like whoever made that row made the row to steal the money from them.
Yes. And I think it's definitely true. Like in Colombia, what they did is they basically looked at their audience, their market. They went around and they spoke to Colombian people to see what Colombian people wanted to watch. What did they want to consume? What were they willing to pay for? That's how they determined how much they would be collecting and whether collecting that money would actually make a difference. The lady behind you, thoughts?
I thought I'd run away from this, but no.
Sorry?
I thought you didn't notice, but okay.
Oh no, I can't hear you at all.
Oh no.
Closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think you'd get as much fund to make a difference, only because it's sensitive, but it's not that sensitive. I'm trying to find the words to make it make sense. I feel like, okay, you put out your product, right? Your movie's out. You won't get as much traction in as much as you have your own audience as a brand, as you. When it comes to supporting your talent, there's still that stigma around it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I believe you. Also, you said yes. Why? How would we make enough money to make it matter?
I was just nodding, but it wasn't a yes. I think it should be more, as you're speaking, we need to make a structural difference first. Because if we're collecting the money, we need people who will be accountable to this money. Otherwise, as he said, some of the people will disappear with the money. Yeah.
I don't know if I would trust my money. Who runs this fund? If this money was put in a pot, who is it? But I actually think that's like a next-gen problem. Because the first problem I would have is, are there enough people buying tickets for this to be even enough to make another film? Like if I wanted to make a good blockbuster action film coming out of Africa, and I am obsessed with this idea, by the way, but if I wanted to make one of those, would I be able to save a percentage of all the tickets bought in Kenya to buy a ticket and make enough money to pay for one film? That is what I'm basically saying is the root of the problem. Guys, I'm going to be real with you. Right now, you have talent. Talent is present and accounted for. Nobody is questioning that, not even in the slightest. The problem that we are having is that there is a disconnect between our audiences and our product. We are making films, but we are not putting value on that. Not so much so that we are actually asking for, like, the audiences, what do you want to watch? What do you want to put money on? What would you leave your house to pay for? And how can I get you there? If I was to do a screening and make film free, who would come? It's just free. Just come watch a film. You wouldn't come? So you're telling me, again, no shame, this is data. So what you were telling me is that in this room, even if I was to force feed you free film, very few of you would bother coming.
Me, I think everyone would be interested in coming to watch the film.
Not everyone.
But many.
Maybe many. I'm very mindful of what I consume, and I'm very mindful of what I spend my time on or in. So I wouldn't just go for the sake of, it being available for free, no.
Would the snacks be free?
No, you have to pay for the snacks and the drinks, and there will be no vibes. There's just film. What is this, guys? I am genuinely asking, and the reason I'm genuinely asking as well is that if we are watching these films, and I am begging you to come and watch my film, just come and watch it. Please spend Saturday with me. Do you have somewhere else to go? You're getting your hair done. Okay, then I'm gonna ask you this. Who here believes that somebody should pay to watch their film? Who here believes that if I made a film and I was showing it for free, you should come and watch my film? And then I'm gonna ask you again. If I was screening a film for free that wasn't yours, who here would come and watch it? You liars. Look at you changing your minds. You guys are not to be trusted. Filmmakers, what are we saying? Listen, at the end of the day, the value proposition that we hold for our own content and the value proposition we hold for the content of others are two separate things. You are asking for people to see value in a product that isn't yours when even you don't see value in a product that isn't yours. And then you are making it. I am notoriously known for saying this, and I'm going to say it to you guys for 2 cents because we're just chatting. We're friends now. So I'm going to say it to you guys, and I'm going to say it because I really want you to take away this if you're taking away anything. An industry cannot be created in a vacuum. You can now create it alone. Your product is going to need a lot of people invested in it. Not just you. Once you've written it, once you've decided to direct it, you're going to get a producer to produce it. Once you get a producer to produce it, you're going to need somebody to finance it. Once you get somebody to finance it, you're going to need a crew to come and work on it. Once you get this crew to work on it, there's people feeding them food, there's people doing all the bits and pieces. All of this is industry. Every single one of these people deserves to be paid for the time that they are doing. And all of that needs to then be brought back after you go to the end of this. We've made this film. Now it needs to be marketed and distributed, and an audience has to care enough to watch it. And then it's not finished, we're not done. Then now we need to then bring it all back, tally the numbers, decide how much was made, how much wasn't made, and then start paying people back. Who gave me money? Who gave me time? Who gave me in kind? How many contracts do I have? 9 times out of 10, when a filmmaker makes a film, the problem isn't that they don't make money. The problem is that they end up in debt. You end up owing money. This is the reality of no industry. It is not something you can do alone. So, who here is going to be an advocate for film moving forward? I want you guys to become soldiers of trying to turn at least every single one of you, if you can get 10 people to see value in film, 10 people, just 10 audiences, to just say, hey, next time there's a film showing, let's just go give it a shot. This is what I do. I make films, and I want you to see what I do. I want you to experience the joy it brings me and come with me. It's worth, hopefully it's not an obscene amount of money, but it's worth this amount of money, let's go. So, who's gonna help me? Who's gonna speak to 10, at least 10 people, guys? Just 10. Next week I'll be asking for 30. But just 10 people. Because what it then means that in this room, if we say 10 of you put up your hands, that's 100 people that are going to buy. So now when you are packaging your film, when you're putting together your film, you are then now looking at saying, actually, my film is going to be consumed by 100 people who are willing to pay this amount of money, and then now you have a consumer. You guys have just created consumers. Thank you very much.
I wanted to talk about creating a consumer because there are cinemas in Kenya like the Anga Cinema and the Century Cinemax, which premiere films from Hollywood. Most of it are Hollywood films, and the main thing, the problem, they are not premiering Kenyan films or African film. Most of it is because the Kenyan films doesn't have doesn't have market for the nini. They won't get back their money when they screen the film. They want to get back their money. So I think also marketing is affecting the screening of a film, because there are films that have been nominated to Kalasha that I knew them during the nomination. I never knew about them before. So I think we need to improve on our marketing. Marketing is also something that when you want to create a consumer, you need to market your film. Somebody doesn't know that there are films that have been produced and very wonderful that are out here. US market our film around maybe Nairobi and expect the audience from Nairobi to come and watch. There are audience outside Nairobi and audience beyond even the East African region. We are limiting our film to a certain group of audience. You know, you have your niche, but I think we need to expand on the audience first, because for someone to allow me to use their cinema or to use their streaming platform, I must show them that I have an audience. The way you say that I have 100 people who are willing to buy tickets for my film. The film, like I can tell example from the film that is now people are watching right now, the Michael Jackson film. The marketing of the film, it has been done like everybody has heard about the film. So the marketing is on a next level. So I think marketing is also something that we need to improve on. I don't know what you can say about that.
Thank you. I actually think that, first of all, writer, director, producer, which one are you? Writer, director, producer, you're all three? Yeah, you are, because you're a filmmaker. Okay, so basically one of the things that I will say is that I actually don't believe a film is worth making if I don't have a marketing budget. If I do not have it already ingrained at the beginning, why I'm making this film, who is going to watch it, and how I'm going to get them to watch it, I will not bother. I will actually say everything else is useless. There is no point. And I think sometimes people underestimate the value of that. But I think one of the things that I think muddies the water a little bit these days is likes and shares. We like likes and shares, don't we, guys? We love them. They're so good. Do you know what they don't do? They don't pay rent. You know, they don't do it. They just don't do it. It's horrible. But this is the thing. Marketing guarantees you that you are putting that conversation. But I would even go as far as to ask you to say, do you know how to speak to your particular audience? How do you market to the Kenyan audience, to the East African audience, to the African audience? Where do they get their marketing? How do you influence them? What's going to get them to open their wallets and spend money? What do they enjoy? Does your marketing need to be funny? Do they like to laugh? Does your marketing need to shock them? Do they like to be thrilled? Does your marketing need to, I don't know, excite them, go out of the way? But also, where are you marketing? Do you need to do a print newspaper article? Are you on TikTok creating content so that they can watch your movie? Are you doing advertisements on billboards? Are you just doing word of mouth? Every time I make a film, my mom says to me, Saru, I'll tell the ladies from church. And I'll be like, yes, marketing. Are we doing that? And she will as well. She gets everybody from church to watch my films. And she really will. But this is my thing. What exactly is it that you believe? I'm going to ask you another question. How can I sell to you? What would make you watch my film for money? Anybody know? Yeah? It's okay.
I'd only watch it like if you came to me like with a personal perspective,
With that?
like in a personal way, like you make it personal to me.
So I have to come to your house
Not really. Like something.
and say, sorry, what's your name?
Greg.
Red?
Gregory.
Greg. Okay, Greg. So I have to say, Greg, this isn't about everybody else, Greg.
True.
This film, it's for you. I made it just for you, Greg. Nobody else is going to. This film, shh, everybody else, it's for Greg. You watch my film?
Yeah.
Is that the only way I'm getting you, Greg?
Like something relatable to me, which will be like relatable to some other people, I believe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, if you want Greg to pay for your film, this is the way to talk to Greg if you want Greg to pay for your film. So my thing is, at the end of the day, did anybody here know how to sell their film to Greg? How they could get Greg to watch their film? No. I didn't know. I was going to just try my best, and I'm going to just swing it and see what sticks. The problem is we have limited budgets, so we don't actually have enough money to throw 100 ideas out there, right? We only have a few budgets. Like, all we can do is one or two things. So then I bring you to my next thing. I never make a film without asking how the people I want to watch my film will actually watch it. Where will they watch it? Are they mobile phone users? Will they only go for experiences? Do they want exhibition cinema? Does it have to be somewhere where there's tasty food, and if it's Andre, food and drink has to be free? So does it have to be one of those situations where I have to give them free food, free drink? Or do I lie? Do I price point my ticket so that my tickets are, I don't know how many Kenyan shillings it would be, but you get a movie, food, and drink, and there'll be a DJ. Are you coming to my film? There'll be a DJ. So if I then say, okay, so this is how I'm going to trick, and yes, I'm tricking you, because this is how an industry is built. We trick people. I am going to trick you to see value in my product. And not only am I going to get you to come to watch my film, I'm also going to make sure that you have a good time. And then you are going to go home and say, that was fun. You're going to go onto your social media and you're going to be like, where were you today? I was getting my hair done. It's Saturday. You are going to say, you should have stayed ugly with bad hair. Because where I was the business. That's where you needed to be. Then I'm going to say, oh, okay, look at that. Now I've got more people who are saying, when's the next one? Luckily for me, I already knew you were going to do that, so I've already planned additional screenings. And not only am I doing them with You Have Your Vibe, I actually thought to myself, I can actually translate this into Swahili, and I can run it all over East Africa. And they will have free food, free drink, and a DJ. And I'm going to do it in all of these multiple places, and I'm going to plan all of this before I even shoot one thing. What do you think? Could that work? Could I make money? Is it expensive? I agree. It really is. Then I would ask you, is it free food if I've included it into the ticket? The ticket costs how it costs because you're getting a vibe. Now, how much have you guys paid to attend a music thing? How much is a DJ?
You mean the ticket price? It goes up to 7,000 at times.
7,000?
Yeah.
Just to DJ?
Not to watch. To participate.
To participate?
Yeah.
So 7,000. So if I was to say that's the ticket price, but there's a film there, is it still expensive? Greg, come on. You are ruining my vibe here. You're saying, no, Saru, stop your plan. It will not work. And I'm saying, but why, Greg? Why will it not work? How is it that it will not work? And it might not.
So like a base ticket can be 1,000 to 1,500. But the most that it can go, the sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit.
For me, if you tell me I pay 1,000, I listen to the DJ and watch a film, I'm down.
You're coming.
I'm down.
You're coming. Thank you for coming. But if I'm then going to ask you this, has anybody here ever thought about how they were going to trick an audience to watch their film? Yes?
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Otis.
Nice to meet
I'm
you.
a filmmaker
Amazing.
from Kenya Film School. And nafanya kila kitu but na based on sound sana. Sasa kama uko na project yako na unataka msee wa sound niite. Now, for you to market your film, the first thing I think is the star power. Mtu uko nayo, kuna msee, kuna star mahali, pengine unaweza mkamweka.
I can't hear you. Is it because you're not speaking English or because I don't understand Swahili? Sorry.
Oh,
Just
sorry,
to put that out there.
I'm sorry. Okay, it's fine. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, there is star power.
Yes.
You may have somebody, some star somewhere. You put him in the flyer somewhere, so in the marketing platform, so that when people see him, they'll be coming to watch just because of that particular person. I think I'm one of the people, when I see a star in your film, a star that I love, I'll come to watch that film. I think that is one of the things.
I love that. Star power is the old one, isn't it? You need to make sure that you've got the beautiful and the sexy in there to sell your ticket. And it is a good one. But my question is this. You have 55 million people in Kenya. 55 million people. In this room, I could barely get 3 people to pay to watch a film. Of the 55 million people in Kenya, because I need them all, fine, I'll remove 10 million. But I need basically most of them. Because I don't want to make films just to have a good time. I want to make films because I want to be a billionaire. That's what I want to do. I want to make money. And I'm talking serious money. I want you to be offended by how wealthy I am. That's what I want. And I want to do it with the Kenyan people. You have 55 million people. If I could get... Sorry? I removed 10. So I have 45 million people. If I could get even all of them to pay 1 Kenyan shilling, not 100, not 10, just 1. If I could get all of them to pay 1 Kenyan shilling, I would have 45 million Kenyan shillings. And if I could get you to do that over and over and over again, could I get rich? I think I could. The problem with the lack of an industry is that it promotes complacency. By complacency, what I mean is you are okay doing the bare minimum. You are also okay making bare minimum things. You are okay not becoming millionaires. I'm not okay with that. I want an industry. So when there is an event that's being held and they are saying, oh, we are trying to build an industry, I'm there. If somebody's saying we don't pay money for films, I'll be like, what? What? Why? What is wrong with you? Film is the most incredible thing that you could possibly spend money on because I want you to spend money on it so that I can make lots and lots of money because I too have a vested interest in this industry so that I can make lots of money. You need to start thinking as an industry. The biggest problem and the biggest challenge I have seen whilst I've been trying to build an industry here in Kenya is that, one, I need people to think like me. I like art. I like stories. I like talent. You guys have it in abundance. It's almost crazy how much you have. But I also like money. And I like it because it allows me to keep making art. It allows me to keep exploiting talent. It allows me to keep seeing what these stories are, what people are doing, and really kind of take it as far as it can go. Do you guys want an industry? Do you think you can change the industry? Do you think you can build it? Have we given up? One of the things that I will always say people should be aware of is that at the end of the day, financial logic is something that is barely taught to people. Educate yourselves. Nobody's going to do it for you. Unfortunately, one of the things that was happening in Colombia is that there was no one who was giving them anything. The levy that was created only worked because the people invested in their own cinema. They created a film fund by watching and paying for film. You guys are easy. You're filmmakers. I can convert you. How do I convert a matatu? How do I get everybody in a matatu to see value in the film? So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I don't necessarily expect you to answer these questions. So these are questions that I think you should just percolate with, sit with, think about in whatever kind of thing that you do. So the next thing is, how much does it actually cost to make a film in Kenya? For you, for me, for anyone. And then if you do not have that number, or find it, please. But if you do have that number, I would like you to ask yourself how you got to that number. Did you think about how much it costs for you to make the film because of how much money you would make whilst you've convinced people, tricked people to watch your film? Once you've tricked people to watch your film, how much money are they going to give you? And then is that going to calculate the cost of your film? That would be the question. Now, I don't want you to guess. I want you to actually look at it. Use your neighborhoods as data. And if you are kind, share that data. Spread it. Speak to your fellow people. Speak to your film schools. Speak to fellow students. Ask them. Speak to fellow industry people and say, hey, in my neighborhood where I live, I spoke to this number of people, and of these people, none of them were willing to make a film and or watch a film or pay for a film. But after I was done, obviously, half of them were, because I invested Saru's 10, and then I did another 10 because, you know, I want to be a millionaire. And so I did another 10, and then actually start using that data. Next time you're writing a script, ask yourself, if I wrote this, will they watch this? If I made this, would they watch this? If I went beyond that, would I then earn this money back? Because you have to then guarantee to somebody else that you are going to get their money back if they invest in it. Then ask yourself, if I approached Saru and I said, Saru, can you please make my film? Would Saru be like, yeah, I can see how I'll make my money back? Okay? Then I would then ask you again, if we trust the system. Y'all are young, you don't trust the system. Do we trust the system? Does the system have us? The system does not have us. Systems never have us. So my next thing is this. Systems are not built at the beginning. They are forged into existence. Make it so. If you are going to try and create an industry, then you need to build it from the ground brick up. How did I make it? Was I a problem? Was I adding to the difficulties? Did I reduce on the problems? Did I add to the information? Did I make it so that people would understand? Because we need to bring this back together. One of the things that I think would become really difficult is if filmmakers stop building projects that only work when everything goes right. People build things and then it's like, if everything goes right, it'll be amazing. No, your audiences do not want to watch your film already, so it's already gone wrong. So how do we then factor in everything that could possibly go wrong so that the project can still work? Then you also need to build projects that are honest about their audience. Who are these people? What do they actually like to watch? One of the things I absolutely hate about when I'm in the UK is that they keep making gang violent films. Everybody's always getting shot and killed, and there's always knife crime. And as filmmakers, we always have these conversations with ourselves. No, they should stop making these. They need to make romance. We need people falling in love, and it'll be amazing. But the thing is, every time a romance film is made, nobody goes to watch it, so it doesn't make any money. But whenever it's knife crime and gang violence, everybody shows up. I would like it if the Black British audience was less into violence, but that's not what I'm getting. I have to be very honest about the audience that I have. This is the audience I have, so I have to make it for them. Then, the next thing that we have to do is we need to be very, very real about your route to the market. Does everybody understand what I mean when I say route to market? Basically, it just means how you are going to make money. You have to be honest about this. If you do not see any way whatsoever that you are guaranteed money, you need to be very real about whether this project is worth pursuing. Because remember what I said, worst case scenario, filmmakers, they don't just even out, they end up in debt. So how do I make something that is actually going to make me money? Who are the people I need to collaborate? Who speaks on distribution? Who teaches film financing? How can I look at this project in such a way that is going to allow me to be part of the solution for the whole industry? Then, we also have to be real about financial logic. You guys, we live in the information age. There is nothing you can't learn. If you do not understand finance, find a YouTube tutorial. You will get nowhere if you do not understand finance. You are going to have to educate yourself on how people make money, and not because they need to understand you, because filmmakers, investors are not here for you. They are here to make money. You need to figure out how you are going to go out there and talk to them in such a way that will allow them to feel confidence in you. You need to understand their lingo. Find like a dumbed-down version. That's what I did. You need to find a dumbed-down lingo. Find out what it means, what they're asking for, and how you can prioritize it for them. They don't owe you any favors. Nobody is here for you. You have to go where they are and convince them, just like you have to trick your audience, to invest in you. Then, the industry does not need more passion. This is a very controversial stance that I have, but I'm going to say it to you guys because, we're just chatting, we're friends. So I'm going to say it to you. Passion is great. We love passion. It's really, really amazing. But we have a lot of it and in abundance. What we need is skills. We need skilled workers. We need people who understand industry. We need people who understand how to build in this industry. We need that more than we need passion. If you can turn yourself into one of those people, it'll be mighty. I'm optimistic like that. And then the next thing that I will say is, if your project is ready, it has to be ready, or else it's just an idea. Make sure that you are literally looking at it from audience, then the script, then packaging. That's financial logic, and then how it's made, and then how it's distributed. But actually, before how it's made, how it's sold, how it's marketed, how it's distributed, and then how we then cancel all the cost reporting. If you can do that, then that's what we need more of. So channel your passion. Don't take it away, please don't. We definitely need every single one of you, but we just need you to be able to channel that and convert it into industry. Now, if 10 years from now, someone is going to be standing somewhere like this, I don't know where they are, preferably not here, but if they're standing somewhere like here, talking about what Kenya built, that's how I think. I think every single time when I'm doing something, or I get frustrated, or I get angry at the industry, or I get frustrated at government, or I get frustrated at the lack of movement, I always think 10 years into the future. If they are talking in a room exactly like this about what Kenya built, and they are going to reference the decisions that were made by individuals in this room, literally here, the question is not whether Kenya has what it takes. Obviously, it isn't. We settled that. We all know that. The question is whether we are willing to do the work. This is not sexy work. Filmmaking has got really good PR because it was given good PR by Hollywood. Everybody knows it's really, really good PR. But what I'm saying is, what I'm talking about is system building, the unsexy work that goes with filmmaking in order to turn it into an industry. Will we be able to have done that unglamorous work, that systematic work, the work that doesn't make the poster, the work that actually gets the audience tricked into paying for what we need them to pay? Who here understands the hard work it takes to make a film? Who here is willing to do said hard work? Okay. All right. Any questions? Behind you.
Jumbo, good evening.
Hi.
So my question is rather on the marketing. Why do we start looking at marketing from post-production? Nah, it's something that, especially with films that have achieved blockbuster status, it's something that starts from the pre-production, the marketing of the film, and how it's going to resonate with the audience to the point that the audience members and the market. Do we do the marketing for the production company or like the owners of the film without even having to be prompted, or like, have you seen this and this and this and this, whereby the production has achieved, is okay.
I think I kind of get what you're saying,
yes,
because this is one of my biggest sort of things that I think people have been lied to. Filmmakers have been lied to. We are told that if you're a filmmaker, you make the film, right? We're told that that's what you do. And then you find a sales agent and you find a distributor, and then they'll be able to sell your film. No. That is not for us. You need to be, as a filmmaker, the same way I'm here saying we're all writers, producers, directors, you also need to be sales, distribution, and marketeers. This is unfortunately the reality of our industry. The same way that, and I agree with you, thank you, we shouldn't be waiting until the end of a film in order to make a plan for marketing. It should be in your budget. Distribution is also going to have a budget for marketing, but what you are going to do to protect your overheads is you are going to cap their distribution allowance, because what they will do is they will say, we spent pretty much every single amount of money your projects could possibly have made on marketing, and then you'll be left with no profits. So you are going to want to cap their marketing, which means if you are capping their marketing, you are going to need to have a marketing budget of your own. That way you can make money off the back end once the film has been distributed and once audiences are paying for it.
But then I don't think it will be a question of the budget of the film rather than creating hype around it. And I believe for the guys who are waiting for the last Fast and Furious film, you are aware of it because you know probably your favorite footballer is now featuring in the film, Cristiano Ronaldo. And I don't think they needed a lot of money to bring out that concept that we have Cristiano in this film. And, you know, by simply saying Cristiano will feature in this film, people already talking about it. They're like, I'm also anticipating, waiting for it. And I'm able to create hype around this film without needing to spend billions of dollars.
Ah, I see what you did there. So you're saying Cristiano just sells the film by themselves, so they don't even have to market it that deeply?
No, the production company says that they're going to feature him among Akina Ludacris.
And the marketing wheels just keep turning automatically.
Yes.
Cristiano Ronaldo is incredibly expensive to have in your film. That's your marketing budget. He's not going to leave his house for vibes. But Fast and the Furious is an incredibly expensive franchise to make movie by movie basis. So what will happen is, if I am now in development and I am thinking about how to make my film, and I'm thinking, oh, it's Fast and the Furious, I need a lot of boys to turn out for this one. I need men, I need guys who are gonna be like, I don't care what's happening, I'm gonna watch it. Somebody's gonna be in the room and say, what if we get Cristiano Ronaldo? And then somebody's going to say, yeah, but Cristiano Ronaldo won't do it for less than 250,000 and we only get him for 5 minutes on that day. We are going to have 250,000 US dollars to get Cristiano Ronaldo to market our film simply by being in it for 5 minutes on that shoot day. Which means when we were putting together the budget under marketing, we would have the 250 for Cristiano Ronaldo. We also have to pay for his assistant. He's going to want to bring his kids. We're going to have to make sure that they are all fed. He's going to be like, yeah, but these days I'm in Saudi, so we're going to have to like fly him round. Then we're going to, and he doesn't fly anything but private jet, so we're going to have to pay for his private jet. And then he's also going to be like, in the private jet nowadays I only eat caviar, so we're going to have to make sure that we have the food that he likes. Then I'm going to have to pay an assistant to take all the red M&Ms out of the chocolate or the red Smarties because his stupid-ass child does not like to eat the red ones. So I'm going to have to then now hire someone to do that. And then I'm going to have to put it in a beautiful package. And by the time I am done, I have now paid 890,000 US dollars for Cristiano Ronaldo. So the reason the Fast and the Furious probably has a marketing budget of millions is because they knew for certain that you will show up to watch him. They tricked you, but they paid for it. It's crazy, right? I would wonder, is there another way to trick you without having to get Cristiano Ronaldo? I want to save that money and make another film because that's another film. You know, like surely there's another way to get you to come. I don't know.
Earlier on, you mentioned something about, along the lines of tricking us to buy into your film or tricking investors to invest in it before you even shoot anything. How does that work? Please teach me the trick.
To be honest with you, I will also ask you guys to teach me this trick. The thing about audiences, guys, is that I will try anything. Like, honestly, I will. I have a film that we are currently going to be touring over the UK. I also want to do it in the States, by the way, so I'm trying to raise money for that. But for this film, we are creating an entire different line of events that are nothing to do with film. One is a prom. There's a prom. There's speed dating. There is, oh my God, there's also a love clinic where you can bring, it's like therapy sessions for you and your girlfriend or you and your boyfriend. You come and they sit down and they troubleshoot your relationship. Basically, it's an opportunity, if you're a woman like me, it's an opportunity for me to just get a second opinion of telling my boyfriend that he's wrong. So there is that. So we are having a lot of uptake on this. People are actually willing to pay like 50, 60 pounds to show up at these events. And we are also screening the film there. At the speed dating, the film is the icebreaker. You watch the film, then you get 15 minutes with each partner, and you will find love. I don't know. It's not really my problem, but I know you'll watch my film. So, and you will watch my film. And when you're watching my film, when you are now trying to find love, the first thing you're going to have to say is, whew, that film was bad. Oh, whew, that film was good. Oh, whew, can you believe they made us watch a film just so that we can talk to each other? I don't care what it is. Either way, I am trying to find alternative ways to trick audiences. I have long been past the illusion that people are just going to watch my film because I make good films. I don't even know if I make good films. I mean, no offense, filmmakers who've worked with me, I have some films that I think are kind of duds. The thing is, films are a process that requires so many different people to contribute. And not everything goes according to plan, and sometimes you just kind of have to piece it together as best as you can. But the point is, I already took investment. So I can't just be like, this didn't work out, never mind. I still have to make the money back. So what is it that I can do to trick them? In terms of the Kenyan audience or the East African audience or the African audience, I was talking to somebody about this a few days ago. We are at a disadvantage because filmmaking isn't ingrained in our culture. It isn't ours. There was no African who invented cinema. We invented storytelling. We can do it around the fire with everyone, and it was vibes, and it was fun, but it was free. There was no one who had to leave a tip for grandma when grandma told you her stories. You just left. But this is the problem that we're having. With every single person on the African continent, you need to get them to think differently. But instead of trying to bring them to the way that film is done in Hollywood, because that's how it works there, or film is done in Europe, because that's how it works there, my question is, where are the Kenyan people? Where are the East Africans? Where are the Africans? How do I go to them and get them to care about what I'm doing? Actually, let's do one over there because you're quite far. Can we get a mic over there? I think you have to. It's the bottom one.
Okay, hi.
Hi.
I'm Winnie. I focus on marketing and distribution.
Oh, love this.
So when it comes to the Kenyan audience, like right now I'm working on this film, it's called Call Me Queen. And we are thinking about the Kenyan audience, and I know they love a good experience. So when I'm marketing to them, I'm focusing on what experience am I going to give them to make them buy tickets to come to the cinema. So yeah, we are planning a premiere very soon. So follow us on our pages at Call Me Queen Film, and you're going to have a good experience, promise. So yeah, an experience for sure.
Thank you, Winnie. Actually, guys, remember that time when we were saying there's going to be a DJ? When we were saying there's going to be vibes, and everybody put up their hands to say, I'll show up. Show up for Winnie. Winnie says that she's doing a whole thing. So there's going to be a premiere soon. It's going to be a good vibe. You're going to enjoy your film, and you can get good vibes and a good experience. Follow for more details. But also, Winnie's clever. She wants to fool the Kenyan audience and trick them into coming watching films. So make friends with Winnie. Because now, when your film is coming up and you are deciding, I've got a script that I want to write, go to Winnie and say, Winnie, what have your audiences been responding to? What have they been enjoying to watch? And how can I do the same? Yeah? Any other questions? Because I think I've run out of time. Okay, fine, I don't care, I'm a rebel. Let's do 2 more questions. 3 more questions, because Andre will let go of a mic.
Just to add on from what this young man said about Cristiano Ronaldo, do you see their value in using social media influencers, people with followers, as part of the filmmaking and marketing, whether it's in the project or around the marketing?
I think there's a data problem there. Because one thing that I know for certain is that you've got 10 million followers on Instagram. I know that for certain. But my question is, do I know that your 10 million followers on Instagram are consumers of film? That if you show up, they will pay money to watch you? I actually will say one of the things that I'm always constantly wondering is, how do I get accountability from the celebrities that we pull in? Because sometimes we're just hiring these people and we're throwing money at them. We're throwing it at them. Take my money. We're doing all of that. But my thing is, what is the obligation should they fail to draw in the audience? Because they have none. I'm wondering, is there a situation where we have the agency to actually say, listen, we are going to invest this amount of money on you, but it needs to turn into this amount of money. However, if you only bring in this amount of money, then we are not going to pay you this amount of money. Like, because it's then an enterprise, I would wonder. Because I would then say, if you've got 10 million followers, and if you can manage to rally up, because they need to work hard, man. Because these budgets are not easy to come together. So they need to work hard. You need to bring me some investment so that I can also feel like this is worthwhile. And then also trial it. If it worked for you once, it might work for you again. And then if it didn't work for you, evaluate it. What went wrong? But I would never say that there isn't a pull. Right now, they are talking to people that people can't even begin to start being able to reach. So what are they doing? I would even go as far as to say, how did they amass their following? Is there a way that we can genetically engineer this, package it, and then bring it back in-house? Because everything you can get externally, you should be trying to figure out how to bring in-house. Behind you.
Yes, so mine is not actually a question, rather than an answer to one. And I believe this question was asking, why is the Kenyan market really, they really love Hollywood, or they would run away to Hollywood productions and show a lot of support to Hollywood productions rather than, or like compared to locally produced productions. And I would probably say that the answer to that is some of the stories that we write lack, they lack the aspect where you talk of a human issue in your film from beginning to end, it being your plot. And our plot engines, especially for our locally made productions, you'll see that Kenyan issues is the plot engine of your story. And the Kenyan audience is not a problem, it's a mirror. You need to see what they resonate with. And what they resonate with is a film that makes me, not make me feel like I'm Kenyan, because I'm watching that movie to forget the stress. Ya vitu iko huku na everything.
So no struggle stories, please. We're struggling enough.
Okay. Yes. So when I as a filmmaker or a scriptwriter, I decide let my story engine be pushed by a human issue, rather than it being the Kenyan president. Why can't our stories be bad leadership, which is common in every country, while our president is only common to us?
Okay, you're talking the difference between art house and pop. So what you are discussing is, how do we make something that only resonates in Kenya versus something that resonates globally,
yes,
that can travel? I think there's value in both. You need both. You cannot have an industry without a local audience, but you definitely would like to scale beyond your Kenyan borders, at least be able to speak Africa. I think that's really, really important. And I also think that, and I'm really, really over time, so I'm going to say this, and I still have a question there, and I saw you grab the mic. You guys are going to get them to run me out of here. But one thing that I really want you guys to understand is this. Hollywood was not built overnight. It took them a really, really long time. It was bad There was times when all of these companies we hold in high esteem as being big-ass studios, now they almost went bankrupt. Some of them did, and then they had Hail Marys that then brought them back. There's so much that has happened. Your film industry is young. There's also just some appreciation for how far we've been able to travel with the talent that we have so far. What we are talking about here is building systems to support that talent, to support that ability to tell stories. There's nothing wrong with us. There might not even be anything wrong with the stories that you want to tell. It's just that right now, we need to prioritize things that can let us keep telling those stories, keep growing, keep building an industry. If we do not do that, then it is just going to take us significantly longer, and there are going to be casualties of bankruptcy. Let's learn from everything they did wrong in the global north. Let's learn what they did. Let's not copy them. Let's not try and be them. Let's just learn from them, and let's dump everything that they did that's not relevant to us. Is there a mic over there? I swear to God, you are my last one, and then I really am done, I promise.
Hello. Okay, now I'm audible. Yeah? When you started, you were talking about the grants that you had, the grants that you have, and you had to close them down yesterday night or something?
The grant that I have?
Yeah.
Yes.
You spoke about them being flagged, like a bunch of them being flagged. So what makes you get flagged as someone who's applying for a grant?
Okay. The first thing that I'm going to tell you guys is that my film fund is not a grant. I hate grants. I do not like them. I do not support them. I think that they just basically are little buses of agendas that are hidden and sold to you as something else. There's no such thing as a free lunch, guys. Free money does not exist. If they are giving you money, it's because they want something in return. My fund is a recoupable fund. What I want is money. So I will give you money, you need to give me money back. And I will give you money, and the risk that I'm taking that you will fail to give me money back is a 30% premium and an exec producer credit. I am telling you what I want. Grants don't do that. I don't think grants are bad, like don't take them. I just think I want to be able to tell the stories that I want to tell with freedom. And I don't think grants sometimes allow us to do that. Definitely utilize them. Use them as a space to play, to explore, to tell stories that you might not necessarily be able to tell. Use them as a place to practice your craft. This is a skill. Nobody is born knowing how to make a film. It is something that you get better at the more you do it. Whatever funding you can get, use it. We are not choosy people. But I do think that, one, my fund right now, you have to have a UK producer. So if you have somebody who you can co-produce in the UK with, the story can be filmed anywhere in the world. It can be about anything in the world. It just needs to be genre. I, too, hate struggle films, so I will not fund them. But this is literally genre. If it's action, if it's thriller, if it's sci-fi, if it's just insane, if I'm going to laugh until I almost pee myself, this is the fund for you. But you have to pay it back. Accountability is key, guys. We're not out here trying to create spectators of the industry. We're creating practitioners of the industry. You need to be responsible for where this industry goes forward. From now on, if any Kenyan filmmaker is talking to me, I'm going to be asking you, what have you done for your industry lately? How are you helping us? So where are we going? What are you investing in? What are you not investing in? How are you turning your Kenyan 55 million into audiences? Last question, I swear.
Okay, so my question is on authenticity of African films. I have such a, I am passionate about, yeah. Okay. When Africans make films, they tend to focus more about how palatable that film is internationally rather than how authentic it is to its people. What I'm saying is, you watch an African film, a Kenyan film, let's say, that is based in Kenya, acted by Kenyans. It's a story of a Kenyan, but the words being spoken, the script sounds like it happened somewhere in Mississippi, somewhere in Arizona. It just doesn't, it's not true to the Kenyan experience of that particular situation. And when I raised it up with a producer, the producer said, you know, you're making content for your country, yes, but you also have to consider how it looks like internationally. It has to be something that can be absorbed internationally. But the only reason why people try to make films American is because American didn't care about how the world would think of them. They made films that were true to them, and they said, let the world catch up or stay where they are.
Okay, I'm kidding. I'm going to stop you there. And I'm only going to stop you there because literally it's saying times is up and it's not flashing red at me. So I'm going to stop you there. The idea of local versus global, you need both. Not everything can travel, and not everything is going to stay in the same place. I understand prioritizing your own stories. I am pro-Africa for always. I want to make films for African people. I want African people to learn what they want. I want them to develop a taste for what they want. I want them to be angry and hate and love and really feel passionately about what they consume. I will even go as far as to say it's not up to you what you make. It's up to your audience. I get what you want to make. What does your audience want to watch? So at the end of the day, I think sometimes we get very bogged down on, I want this, it has to be authentic, it has to be this. What do they want to watch? And if they don't want to watch what you want to make, fine. But who's going to invest in that? No. We will talk after.
Okay, fine.
I'm so sorry, guys. I am hated to a maximum degree at this point, but thank you so much for your time. I had such a wonderful time with you because we were just chatting. It was fun. It was vibes. And yeah, if you have any questions, I mean, I'm really tired, so maybe don't. No, I'm kidding. You can find me wherever, okay? Bye.